Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tom, Pastor Tom, back with Pastor Tom's Doughy Delights. Today I'm going to start making artisan no-knead bread. Why they call it artisan bread, I don't know. It's really very easy to make and it's very unartistic. So what I'm going to do is just mix the ingredients up, and it's very easy. 6 ingredients: vinegar, beer, yeast, salt, flour, and then we'll add a little water. I'll use a mixing bowl, measuring spoons, measuring cups. This is the piece of equipment you'll need to make this. This is a Dutch oven. It's a cast iron pot with a lid on it. 3 cups of flour. This is all-purpose flour. Do your dry ingredients together first. This is yeast. I like rapid rise yeast. The recipe actually calls for 1/4 teaspoon, so that's just that much. I like to throw in a little bit extra because I like the yeast. The other dry ingredient is just the salt, just 1.5 teaspoons. And that's quite easy to come by as well. Then you have your 3 wet ingredients. I usually just mix them together like this. So it's beer. This is about the only good use for warm beer, probably at room temperature. It's just 4 ounces. So it's just about 1/2 cup. I let that go down a little bit. Then 6 ounces of water, so that's 3/4 cup. Just a tablespoon of vinegar. And we've got all our ingredients mixed together. All done. It's that quick. Stir all this up, the dry ingredients together. And just mix this in little by little. All you have to do is mix it up. And when it's all mixed up, just takes a minute. The last little mix with my hands. Just mix it up. That's what the dough looks like. Then you cover it with plastic and you just let it sit. You let it sit for anywhere from 8 to 18 hours. So what I do is I usually make it the day before, like I'm doing now, or sometimes just the night before. You cover it up. You don't have to put it in the fridge. In fact, someplace warm is probably best. So warmest place in the house, that's usually on top of my stove. And there we have it sit for the next day. Sometimes if I want to make a bigger loaf, and I've done this before, then I just add a 1/4 to everything. So that's a basic recipe, and we'll let it sit, and we will see you tomorrow for the baking. Well, good morning to you, everyone. We are in stage 2 of making our bread. It's called no-knead bread. There's not much kneading. Probably properly it should be called almost no-knead bread. All you gotta do is shape it into a loaf now. Put that out like that. And then we take your bread. You can see it's a little bit doughy. And you just form it into kind of a little roll, into a ball. You really don't have to knead it much. I make it like a big roll, like that. I just folded the corners together and make it into a loaf. One of the things I do that I've learned is I've got a cast iron trivet in here. And I put this inside the Dutch oven, and it causes the loaf to be off the bottom a little bit, because when I first made it, the bottom of the loaf got a little dark. So I put that trivet in there, put your parchment paper in there. You spray the parchment paper like that to oil it up, and then you just gently put your loaf in there. You cover it again. I just keep this paper going, cover it again. And then we put this on, and then we're gonna let this set and let that rise for another hour or 2. All I've done is let it raise for a couple hours. So it looks kind of like this now. What I do is a couple things. One, this is just for aesthetic reasons. There's fancy razor blades. I think they're called lames. People use it to decorate. I just use a scissors and I make a little cut in the bread. That gives us a little design. There you go. I find that this is the easiest way to do that. Then you just take this with the cover on. You put it in the oven at 425. You don't even have to preheat it. You just throw it in, and we'll put this in with the cover on for about 25-30 minutes. And then we take the cover off after 25 or 30 minutes, and then the crust gets real crisp. So total baking time is in between 50 minutes to an hour, and we'll see you when we take the finished product out. Okay, the buzzer went off, so it is time. It's the best time of the baking process, and we are taking it out. It's nice and dark and crispy. At the 25 minute, it takes about an hour to cook, 50 minutes. At the 25 minute mark, I take this cover off, and then it bakes the remainder of the time. Without that, this parchment paper is a little bit brittle, but I can just get it right out like yay so. And you can see how it doesn't burn on the bottom when you have that iron trivet in there. And that's that. All the books and the recipes say about bread is you gotta let it cool for 2 to 3 hours. I never do that. We'll be eating that in about 10 minutes. So enjoy. And I know an easy Bible verse is, you know, man does not live by bread alone, but with this bread, I probably could. So what I'm thinking about is I want you to know how easy it is to make. Make it for somebody. Encourage one another as the day draws near. Okay, thanks and enjoy. Bye.